You are the CEO of your life. Read that once more. You are the one in control, not your past, not your situation, and certainly not the people who doubted you, hurt you, or took you for granted. Still, too many of us waste our time chasing after people who don't value us, holding on to relationships that drain our spirit, and constantly thinking about who doesn't like us or who left us. And then you ask why you feel stuck, why you feel tired. It's because your energy is going to the wrong places. Here's the real deal. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your peace unless they have truly earned it. And if someone keeps making you feel not enough, ignored, or tired, that's your sign. It's time to let them go, because your energy is valuable. Your peace is beyond price. And once you stop putting people first who never put you first, everything in your world begins to shift. But letting go isn't simple, is it? We hang on to people out of guilt, out of shared history, or because we're afraid we'll be alone. But you need to understand something. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some are just lessons. Some were meant to be in your story for a short season to teach you more about yourself, about strength, about what you really deserve. And if you keep holding on to people who are only meant to be a small part of your life, you stop yourself from stepping into the next big stage. Letting go isn't losing, it's choosing. Choosing yourself. Choosing to stop explaining yourself to those who have no interest in understanding you. Choosing to stop waiting for approval from people who don't even approve of themselves. Choosing to guard your energy, your time, and your future. When you finally choose to release what drags you down, you make room for what lifts you up. Because here's the thing, your energy goes where your focus is. If you focus on your dreams, your goals, your self-growth, you become unstoppable. But if you keep focusing on what's lacking, who hurt you, who didn't support you, you are giving them the control of your life. And let me ask you, why would you give that power to someone else? Let someone who doesn't even respect you define your worth. Your time cannot be refunded. You won't get these moments back. Every second you spend thinking about what someone else thinks of you, every hour you waste trying to change someone who doesn't want to change, that's time you could have spent building your future. That's energy you could have poured into yourself, into your peace, into your purpose. And the tough truth, the people who drain you, the ones who shrink your spirit, they're not losing sleep over you. They're not holding on to the past like you are. So why are you carrying a load that isn't yours to carry? You deserve more. You deserve people who lift you higher, who motivate you, who believe in your potential and remind you of it. But you won't meet those people if you keep clinging to the wrong ones. The longer you stay tied to what breaks you, the longer you delay your own growth, the more you focus on them, the more you forget about yourself. So today, make a decision. Decide to walk away from the people and patterns that no longer help you. Decide to stop proving your worth to those who don't want to see it. And then choose to invest in yourself. Go all in on becoming better. Make your goals a priority. Guard your peace. Work on being so strong, so grounded, so fulfilled that you have no reason to look back. Because the sweetest form of moving on is success. It's becoming so focused, so powerful, so undeniably excellent that the people who once doubted you are forced to watch you rise. But you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it because you owe it to yourself to become everything you're capable of being. So stop delaying, stop doubting, let them go, turn your focus back on yourself. And see how your life shifts. Your peace is priceless. Think about that. No kind of love or approval from others is worth giving up your inner peace. Yet many people spend their entire lives trying to hold on to relationships that do nothing but drain them, staying connected to people who shrink their spirit. And the saddest part, they start to believe it's normal, that this is just how life is supposed to be. But I'm here to tell you it's not. Life isn't meant to be lived in constant stress, trying to prove your worth to people who never saw it. It's not meant to be filled with fear of upsetting someone who never once cared about your feelings. If something or someone is disturbing your peace, it's costing too much. Period. No past, no loyalty, no amount of effort is worth staying in a relationship, a job, or mindset that empties you and steals your joy. You have to start guarding your peace like your life depends on it. Because it truly does. When you're always surrounded by negativity, by toxic people, by drama that doesn't even involve you, it wears you out emotionally, mentally, and even physically. And when you're worn out, you can't think straight. You can't work towards your dreams. You can't be the person you're supposed to be. You feel stuck, you feel confused, and worst of all, you start believing that this will never change. But here's the truth. You have the power to choose. You get to decide who stays in your life and who doesn't. You can draw the line. You can say no to anything that steals your calm you don't owe anyone a reason for. Choosing your peace. You don't have to explain. Leaving a place or person that's holding you back. You are not supposed to keep others happy while destroying your own peace. And yes, letting go is painful, especially when you've given so much time and heart into a friendship, a job, or a relationship. You think, I've already put in so much work. You keep hoping they'll change. You keep giving them another chance. And meanwhile, you're losing yourself. But let me ask again, what's your peace worth? How much longer will you trade your happiness for the hope that one day things will change? How much longer will you allow someone else to steer your emotions, your energy, your life? You can't afford to wait. Every day spent with negativity is a day you won't get again. Every moment lost on someone who doesn't care is a moment that could have built your joy and future. And the only way to take back that power is to decide today that your peace matters more than pleasing others, that your happiness matters more than keeping people who drain you, that you are finished giving away your well-being just to keep someone around who never earned that place in your life. The second you decide that everything begins to shift, you start saying no without guilt. You stop trying to explain yourself to people who already made up their minds. You stop chasing those who wouldn't even take a step toward you. And you start focusing on what really counts, your growth, your joy, your future. And then here's the thing. Once you begin to protect your peace, not everyone will support it. Some will say you've changed. Some will call you selfish. But guess what? You're supposed to change. You're supposed to grow and evolve. And those who truly care will understand that. The ones who don't were never meant to stay. Let them go. Because when you finally choose peace over pressure, when you finally choose you, everything gets clearer. You'll feel lighter. You'll have more strength. You'll wake up looking forward to your life instead of dreading it. And you'll see that the people and things you once held so tightly were exactly what was keeping you stuck. So stop coming up with reasons. Stop waiting for a better time. The moment is now. Walk away from what's pulling you down. Protect your peace and watch your whole life transform. Not everyone is meant to stay. Read that again. Some are just part of the journey. Some were never meant to go all the way with you. But many of us hold on because we're scared, because we're used to it, because we keep hoping they'll change. In doing so, while you're holding on, while you're chasing after those who don't value you, you're missing your own growth. You're missing the door that's opening to a better chapter. Let me remind you, growth asks you to let go. It teaches you that not every relationship will last. Not every person you meet is meant to stay. Not everyone who started with you is meant to finish with you. And that's okay. But the problem is we often don't want to accept that truth. We try to keep connections that no longer fit. We hold tight to relationships that have reached their end. We keep friendships that drain us, and love that's faded, and situations that keep us small, that no longer match who you're becoming. And you wonder why you feel stuck. You wonder why you're so tired. It's because you're holding on to people who were never meant to walk this path with you. You're carrying dead weight, trying to bring along those who don't want to grow, who resist change, who don't want to evolve. And the longer you cling to them, the more you slow yourself down. There are people in your life right now who were only meant to teach you something, not continue the journey with you. Some people show up to reveal what you need to heal. Some come to remind you what you should avoid. Some appear to teach you the value of boundaries, but that doesn't mean they're supposed to stay. It doesn't mean you're expected to hold on to them out of guilt, fear, or memories. And is the tough part. Letting go isn't only about removing people from your life. Sometimes it's about releasing old versions of yourself. The version of you that accepted less than you deserved. The version of you that held on to others because you feared being alone. The version of you that was too scared to step into the unknown. If you want to grow, if you want to become everything you're meant to be, you have to be ready to let go of anything that no longer fits with your future. It's not simple. It's never simple, because letting go means accepting that some people won't understand your growth. Some will say you're selfish. Some will say you've changed, and they're right. You have. You're supposed to. You were never meant to stay. same. You weren't meant to stay in relationships that no longer feel right, in situations that no longer bring you joy, in friendships that no longer help you grow. If people can't grow with you, if they can't support your growth, then they aren't meant to go where you're heading. And here's the truth. When you begin to let go, when you stop putting yourself first, when you stop chasing people and begin chasing your purpose, you will see something amazing. The right people will come. The ones who truly belong in your life will rise with you. The ones who really care will support your growth, not hate it. And the ones who are only in your life for a season, they will fade away and you will realize they were never meant to stay. So stop forcing what isn't working. Stop holding on to people who make you feel small. Stop trying to stay in places that no longer match your future. Let go. And when you do, when you finally drop the weight of what's been holding you back, you will feel lighter. You will feel free. You will finally have the space, the energy, and the clear mind to focus on what really matters. Your growth, your peace, your future. Not everyone is meant to stay, and that's okay. Let them go. Focus on you and watch how everything in your life starts to shift. Energy goes where your attention goes. That's the truth. What you focus on grows. What you give your energy to gets stronger. And yet so many people spend energy on things that don't deserve it. They get caught up in drama, in negativity, in opinions from people who wouldn't even notice if they were gone tomorrow. They spend their time replaying old mistakes, worrying about others' views, and holding on to relationships that only drain them. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why nothing changes. Here's the truth. You have control over where your energy goes. You decide what gets your attention. And if you keep giving energy to people who don't value you, situations that upset you, or problems that don't matter, you are holding yourself back. You're taking from your future every time you let distractions steal your focus. Think about it. How much time do you waste worrying about things you can't change? How often do you scroll through social media comparing your life to people who only show the best parts? How much energy do you give to one-sided relationships? If you counted the hours you spent on things that don't help your growth, you'd be shocked to see how much time you've lost. Now imagine using all that energy differently. Imagine if instead of focusing on what's missing, you focused on what's present. Instead of giving your attention to people who don't care, you invested in your own well-being. Instead of wondering why someone doesn't like you, you used that energy to become someone you admire. Everything in your life would shift. Because the truth is, your future depends on what you do right now. Your success, your joy, your peace, they are being shaped by the choices you make today. If you choose to focus on your goals, if you choose to grow, if you protect your energy, you become unstoppable. But if you keep letting your focus scatter in every direction, if you keep chasing those who don't care, if you feed negativity with your time and attention, you will stay stuck. Now let's be honest, being stuck is a choice. Maybe not on purpose, but each time you choose the wrong things, each time you let distractions steal your time, each time you pour energy into people who don't return it, you are choosing to stay where you are. And I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth, because too many people believe life just happens to them, that they have no power. But you do. You have the power every single day to reclaim your energy. You can wake up and choose to focus on what you're thankful for instead of what's missing. You can choose to work on your dreams instead of scrolling endlessly and comparing. You can choose to walk away from those who make you feel small and start connecting with those who lift you up. It's all a matter of choice. And the moment you start choosing right, you'll feel the change. Because when you stop giving attention to things that don't help you, you make room for the things that do. You gain clarity. You feel lighter. You stop wasting your power on nonsense and start using it to build the life you truly want. And guess what? That's when the right people start to appear. That's when chances begin to show up. That's when your confidence grows because you're no longer drained by things that don't deserve your attention. So ask yourself right now, where is your energy going? Are you giving your energy to growth, to purpose, to joy, or are you wasting it on things that don't matter? The answer will tell you exactly why your life feels the way it does. And if you don't like that answer, you can change it. Take your attention back, guard your energy, choose yourself, and watch your world begin to shift. You don't owe anyone a reason for choosing yourself. Read that again. You don't need to explain your decisions to people who don't understand your path. You don't need to convince anyone that your growth is needed. You don't need to say sorry for setting limits, for guarding your peace, for saying no to what drains you. The moment you choose to focus on you, to put your joy first, to do what's best for you, Some people will have opinions, they will question you. Some will be upset. And that's fine, because their discomfort isn't your responsibility. Too many people live trying to make others feel okay. They stay in places that hurt them because they don't want to upset someone else. They keep friendships that no longer feel right because they don't want to be seen as the bad guy. They keep explaining their actions to people who were never meant to understand them. And while doing that, they lose themselves. They trade their happiness just to keep peace with people who wouldn't do the same for them. But let's make it clear, your life belongs to you. Your joy is yours. Your future is yours. And if you spend your time worrying about what others think, if you keep shrinking yourself to keep others comfortable, you'll wake up one day and realize the life you built doesn't even feel like your own. You'll look at yourself and wonder where you went when you stopped living for you, when you began letting others' opinions control your every move. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing joy. You don't have to explain why you're leaving behind toxic people. You don't need to justify cutting ties with those who don't match your values. You don't need permission to protect your peace. You don't need approval to chase your dreams. The only person who needs to understand your choices is you. And the truth is, the people who truly care for you will support your journey. They'll cheer for you even if they don't completely get it. They'll know your peace is important, your growth matters. It's important to remember that your path belongs to you alone. But the ones who push against your progress, the ones who try to make you feel guilty, who act like you're wrong for picking yourself, who behave like you owe them, those are often the people who benefited from your lack of limits. They were fine with you always putting them ahead of yourself, even if it caused you pain. That's what makes choosing yourself such a tough thing to do. It reveals who truly cares for you and who is only around for what they could take from you. It makes you let go of people you once thought would always be part of your life. It forces you to hold on to your decisions, even when others disapprove. That's the nature of growth. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes you'll feel lonely, but it's something you must go through. You don't need to keep explaining your growth to those who refuse to grow with you. You don't need to keep defending your limits to people who never honored them. You shouldn't keep saying sorry for doing what's best for your well-being, because at the end of the day, you're the one living with your choices. You're the one waking up every morning and facing the results of those choices. And if you keep making decisions based on how others will feel, you'll never be free. So stop explaining, stop defending, stop repeating your reasons to people who never truly respected your boundaries. Just live. Do what feels right to your heart. Walk away when something feels wrong. Believe that the right people will get it and the wrong ones will leave on their own. You don't owe anyone an explanation for putting yourself first. And the moment you truly understand that, the moment it fully clicks, your life will begin to shift in ways you'd never imagined. Your energy and time are the most precious things you have, yet many people waste both on things that don't really matter. They give their time to people who drain their spirit. They put their energy into situations that only cause them stress. Then they wonder why they feel so tired, so stuck, so unhappy. They wonder why things aren't getting better, why life keeps repeating the same cycles of stress and disappointment. But here's the truth. You can't keep giving yourself to things that give you nothing in return. You can't keep giving away your time and strength so freely to people and situations that don't help you grow. Each morning, you wake up with a limited amount of energy. Think of it like having a bank account. If you start your day with $100, 0 cents worth of energy, how are you using it? Are you putting it into things that help you become better, that bring you joy, that move you forward? Or are you wasting it on pointless distractions, on people who always take and never give? Too many people walk around feeling drained because they keep using their energy on things that don't matter. They wake up and immediately scroll through their phones, comparing their lives to others instead of focusing on their own. They respond to texts and calls from people who only bring negativity. They agree to things they don't even want to do just because they feel guilty. And by the time they actually sit down to focus on what matters, their dreams, their peace, their own needs, they've got nothing left to give. Then they wonder why they feel empty, uninspired, like they're just moving through life without really living. It's because they gave all their energy to things and people that didn't deserve it. But the good news is, you have a choice. You get to choose where your energy goes. You have the right to set limits. You can say no You don't have to pick up every phone call. You don't have to argue with everyone who wants to fight. You don't have to give your time to people who don't respect it. You're allowed to protect your energy. In fact, you need to, because if you don't, others will take and take until there's nothing left of you. The world will always take as much as you allow it to. Look at the people around you. Look at the situations you keep spending your time and energy on. Do they lift you higher or do they pull you down? Do they motivate you or leave you drained? Do they help you become better or keep you feeling stuck? If someone or something keeps leaving you feeling tired, anxious, or unappreciated, it's a sign. It's a sign that it's time to pause and take your energy back. And I understand it's not easy, especially if you've always been the person who gives, who shows up, who puts others before yourself. But you can't pour into others if your own cup is empty. If you keep giving and giving, if you keep letting yourself be drained, there will be nothing left for your own needs. And if there's nothing left for you, how can you ever grow into the person you're meant to be? You don't have to feel bad for protecting your peace. You don't have to apologize for drawing the line. You don't have to explain why you're choosing you. The people who really care about you will understand. And the ones who don't, the ones who get upset when you say no, those are often the ones who are enjoying the benefits of your lack of limits. The truth is, when you start guarding your energy, your life begins to transform. You feel lighter. You feel more in charge. You suddenly have the time and space to focus on what really matters. And the best part is, you start attracting better people. When you stop wasting energy on the wrong things, you make room for the right things. When you stop giving to people who drain you, you open the door to people who truly value you. So stop giving your energy to things that don't feed your soul. Stop saying yes to things that don't help you grow. Stop letting people take without giving anything in return. Protect your energy. Treat it like it's priceless, because in many ways it is. Your future, your peace, your joy, all of it depends on where your energy is spent. So be wise with it, choose well, and watch how your whole life begins to change. One of the strongest things you'll ever learn to do is walk away. Walk away from what no longer brings you peace. Walk away from people who leave you feeling tired. Walk away from situations that only cause stress, anxiety, and pain. Too many people stay stuck in situations they've outgrown just because they're scared of what happens next. Scared of being alone, scared of change, scared of stepping into the unknown. But what they don't realize is that staying stuck is actually worse than walking away. Holding on to something that no longer fits your life holds you back. It limits your progress. It keeps you in a constant loop of disappointment, stress, and emptiness. You tell yourself things will improve, that if you just try harder, it'll get better. But deep down, you already know. You know when something no longer works. You know when a relationship has reached its end. You know when you've outgrown a situation. But still, you hold on. You stay where it feels familiar, even when it hurts. But real growth means letting go. You can't move into a new chapter of life while still holding tight to the old one. You can't become the person you're supposed to be if you're surrounded by people and habits that hold you back. You won't move forward if your hands are full of the past. And until you're ready to release that, you'll remain in the same place. I get it. Walking away is difficult. It's uncomfortable. It means trusting yourself in a way you never had to before. But once you do it, once you release what's been weighing you down, you'll see just how much lighter you feel. You'll realize how much you've been carrying, how much energy you've been using to hold on to things not meant for you. Imagine if all that energy went into you, into your healing, into your growth, into your future. Imagine how far you'd go. Instead of trying to fix what won't change, instead of staying where you don't belong, choose yourself. Let go. Make space for something better, because something better is out there. There are people who will see your worth. There are opportunities waiting that align with your dreams. There is peace and happiness on the other side of your fear. But you'll never find it if you keep holding on to what's breaking you. And yes, when you walk away, some people will have things to say. Some will try to make you feel bad. Some will call you selfish. But their words are not your burden. You are not here to live a life that makes everyone else comfortable. You are here to grow, to heal, to become everything you're meant to be. And if that means leaving behind people, places, or habits that no longer serve you, then that's what you must do. You are not required to stay anywhere that brings you pain. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing your peace. What you owe yourself is the bravery to walk away when your soul is no longer at peace. And the beautiful part is, once you finally walk away, your whole world starts to shift. You'll meet people who inspire and uplift you. You'll find time and space to chase your dreams. You'll understand that what you feared losing was never really for you. So stop holding on. Stop making excuses. Stop letting fear decide your future. Walk away from anything that adds no value to your life. Walk away from connections that make you feel small. Walk away from drama, from stress, from things that leave you empty. Walk away and trust that something better is on the way. Because it is, but you have to be willing to make space for it.